Good afternoon, people. Hope you guys are keeping well. I've got a MacBook Pro 13-inch A1502. Customer says the MacBook needs to be connected to the MagSafe for it to turn on. Once it's turned on, he can run it on the battery without the MagSafe, which is an unusual behavior. So I had a quick look at it before, and my findings were different. I found that it will turn on with MagSafe only, but at the same time, as soon as you unplug the MagSafe, the unit shuts down. So what we're going to do today is have a look at the battery charging circuit. Now, I'm not going to sort of take the logic board out. I'm going to take some readings off the battery connector. And if I'm satisfied that those readings are good, then my focus is going to be with replacing the battery. Okay, so let's crack on with it. Let me switch over to the microscope. All right. And you probably need to get rid of that. Yeah, I know, it's just messy. When I say messy, as if just so much stuff on the bench, that's all. It's not messy in that sense, but just so much stuff. Let's plug that charger in for the battery. Hopefully, let me get one sec, just make sure that that's turned on. Yes, it is turned on. Okay, I don't have to worry about the battery. Okay. Just make sure. Okay. Right, and I will grab that can go in. Let's just get this multimeter. Okay, what we're going to do is I'm going to set it to, first of all, set it to the ohms range and get some readings off. All right, okay, so I'll probably do it this way around. We can see the multimeter as well. Okay, let's crack on with this. Right, so the battery's disconnected. I've left the unit off for about good 10 minutes for it to discharge, which is not necessary. I'll just lift it off. Okay, so what I'm going to do is let me take my hands away. Okay, so first reading is from, these are your charging pin, these are your voltage out pin to your battery. Okay, those are going to be your clock and data battery sensor line, and those 3 pins are going to be your negative. So let's see what we get on the ohm range and what readings we get on those pins. Them 3 pins are going to be same. So 1.4 mega ohms, that's good. Same again, 1.4 mega ohms. 1.4 mega ohms, that's good also. Okay, let's look at the pins for your SDA and clock and all that. That's good as well. That is also good. I know it's dropping down, but that's fine. Okay, and that'll be all well, or no, in fact, sorry, it's 10.000, 10.0.6 kilo ohms, actually, I should say. So that's normal. That is always, you're going to find that sort of reading on this particular line again and again, whereas the other two are fluctuating. So that's that. And them 3 pins, the last 3 pins are going to be a ground, and obviously so 0.2 ohms. Sometimes, and please forgive me, sometimes I just get carried away with all these 0.0.0.0.0.0.1 and all this business. But you can see the reading yourself, right? So I'll probably shut up and crack on with it. Let's do the diode mode reading and see what we get. So on diode mode, the red probe goes onto the ground. And I'll be using the black probe. Let's have a look. That should be an OL, which means infinite resistance. Same again. Same again. Let's have a look at the other one. That should have 0.5. Yep, that's perfectly fine. Perfectly fine again. This will be an OL as well. Yep, perfectly fine. And obviously your ground pins are going to beep. Okay, so that tells me one thing. Okay, The battery charging circuit seems to be fine. It's giving me good readings, okay? So which leads me to believe that there's a fault with the battery itself. And the battery needs replacing. These battery packs are in it's not cheap. So anybody who wants to do this from a basic level into advanced is to sort of make a note of all this and write it down. Write it down in a diary. These readings is not on the schematics. Certain readings are not on the schematics. So you need to know off heart what you're looking for a good working logic board. So there you have it. Now what I'm going to do is let's try and hook up the battery. Let's see if I get anything on. Let me switch over to right. Hang on a sec. Let me so that can go off. There's nothing else to do with that. I'm gonna retire the microscope or the camcorder what I'm using as a microscope. So that can also disappear. Okay, and let's switch over to this. All right, okay. Yeah, it's partly dismantled. I've taken bits off just to sort of make things a lot quicker. Because yes, I have done videos up to several hours in the past and I just can't do it, just too busy. So we have a green light and we have an amber light as well. MacBook should turn on. We hear a chime and an Apple logo on the screen. And I don't need to hide the user ID and all that. Just what you're not going to. I respect people's decision, but I'm not going to do it. What good is that going to do to? What harm can it bring to somebody? By just exposing the username. There's millions and millions of MacBooks have been sold internationally, so just seeing the username, I don't know. But I respect people's decision, though. If somebody wants to hide it, hide it. Who cares? But it's one of those things. It's down to individual's discretion, really. So just wait for it to turn on. Okay, and see. What I would like to do actually is do a voltage measurement with battery connected and without battery connected. So that could be interesting as well. Okay, so let's. MacBook is turning on. I know that it's turning on, so that's fine, no problem. Right, let's grab the multimeter again, put it on voltage mode, and I'd probably put it on sleep mode. That's because if I close the lid, it will go into a sleep mode, but that won't matter too much because it's still charging. Or supposed to, but it's not, I believe. So let's look at the voltage out. It should be in the region of 12 something. Let's get a good ground pad. Okay, and let me focus on the that one. And let me get this in range. There you have it. Let's get the light backlight so you can see it better. And let's read from the pin. What do we get? 11, yeah, 11.62. That's fine. 11.62. That's fine. Same again. I don't know why I said 12 volt from, but yeah, near enough there. Those are your data. Those are your data line. That's your data line again. Another one, then that's perfectly fine. That you will see that fluctuating, and them three are going to be obviously 0 volt because of your ground. Just give me 1 sec. Sorry about that. Just needed to sort something out. Right. Okay. So you got an idea of what the voltage, what we're getting. Now, if I remove the MagSafe, the MacBook's gone off by definite, 100%. See what we're getting. Yeah. And it's dropping. Right, these 3 pins are going to be fine. Let's have a look at that. 3.394, 3.394. That should fluctuate like the 0.028, and you see the patterns. Hold it down for a few seconds, you'll see this pattern. And them are your ground pins. Those are going to be nothing. Now, if I took the battery off, put that in. Now let's look at the voltages on that. Good contact. Yeah, 12.56. Okay, 12.5. So I was right before when I said 12.56. That'll jump back to 12.56. Same again. Okay, let's see what these data lines. 3.4. Just normally hold it for about 5 seconds just to get a steady reading, rather than just poking and just getting a reading. So just hold it for about a good couple of seconds. Okay, and then those are your ground. So you'd expect a 0 volt on those pins anyway. So yeah, I conclude that there's an issue with the battery. Charging circuit's fine. So what really needs to happen is that the old battery needs to come out and the new battery needs to go on, and I will do that. Let's get things. I'll do that after. There's enough videos on how to replace these batteries. I'm not going to drag this on for any longer. I just want to keep things short and sweet and sound. So there you have it. Let's just quickly. Come on, let's just type. So there you have it. To replace the battery, obviously, first thing first is disconnect. There's 3 screws. Peel this off, and there's 3 screws holding this battery PCB. 3 or 2? 2, sorry, my mistake. No, 3. 1, 2, and 3. Okay, them are the screws that needs to be taken off. Ideally, the speakers needs to come out, and they're held by 3 screws as well. One on the right and one on the left. So they've been taken off, and then disconnect this flex. Just be careful you don't damage it. You do not need to take the trackpad or anything else out from here. Be very careful that there is a like a very, what's the word for it? These are like the TV flexible cables on the TV. They use a thermal type of connection. I can't remember it's just gone off my head, but you know what I'm referring to. They're not soldered on. These are like thermal pad. They use specific thermal pad. So for example, let me see if I can show you this. The type of see them. I'm on about these. Them too. Be very careful when you sort of lift, when you're messing about in that section, that you're not damaging them. Okay, so yeah, I mean, normally I use a credit card or a plastic praying tool, but credit card works like magic with a bit of IPA. Dip it in and just squeeze and work your way through. If you use a scraper, you're going to scrape the hell out of the inside, which is not visible, but if somebody else takes the battery later on down the line, providing this lasts that long, sadly, there will be some bad words coming out of them, so you don't want to be damaging somebody's. If there is a way of doing a neater job, then do a neater job rather than just jumping your guns and sort of doing things and so on and so forth. So there's adhesives on this here as well. You can go through the side on them pack, but these are the 2 ones that'll be difficult. It can be awkward. So what I tend to do is just either use some sort of a string if you can, and just work you around it, or cut in the adhesive, or just pray with the plastic card and just go easy. But be careful that the card doesn't slip and you sort of you sort of hit this bit here. Absolutely. What I would also recommend is peel this off and disconnect it. It's a little, lift that and just try and disconnect this. I know the battery's loose because I've already taken it off. I'll just get this out of the way. There's something sticking underneath it. Yeah, I thought so. Right, because you don't want to damage this flex, otherwise you're creating yourself unnecessary work. This is the old battery, as you can see yourself. All right, it's been taken out without damaging, not a single scratch. Let me put this away. Not a single scratch on the PC, on the actual inner part of the MacBook, and that's me doing my work. In the workshop, things has to be right. I've already got a new battery. Look, not even a hairline scratch on it. That's how it should be, and I've used a credit card to do that. I have very scrapers and things like that, but I wasn't keen on doing that. There is the new battery that's going to go on, and but I'm not going to do this now. What I was going to do though is I'm not going to put that on now. I'll conclude that on a different time. I've got to go and do something. But main reason for this video is to give you a rough idea as to what you're expecting on the battery connector pins, and if those readings are what I've shown you or near enough, you're good to go. If there is stupid reading coming out or voltages coming out of these pins, then that means there is a problem with the charging circuit. You'll have to take the logic board out and start troubleshooting. Whether that could be the charging IC, the ISL, whatever it is, the 669 something or whatever it is, that's bad, and or it could be a resistor that's on the line that's gone off or blowing, whatever it is. But you're just gonna have to troubleshoot. Sometime it could be the SMC, the SDA and the SL, the clock and the signal data line, clock and the data line might have problems that's directly connected to the SMC, the system management controller. So there's a lot of things, when you're fixing these sort of things, don't expect easy fix, easy way out. There's a lot of time that you can get. Some might say, "Oh, flipping it was just a battery." Well, I'm going to say these batteries are expensive batteries, and one of the things I try and avoid is keeping batteries in stock. I tend to buy batteries which gets delivered next day because it's fresh stock, and I'm not sitting on batteries, and I don't want to order a battery assuming that there's a fault with the battery, but it's not, it's something else. And that's going off my experiences from past. So for that reason, I troubleshoot the circuit, make sure it is what it is, and then you take your chances and get a battery. You might even put a brand new battery in and the MacBook might not charge. So again, it's all circumstantial. Problem can vary from machine to machine and so on and so forth. So that's all, guys. Anyway, all the best. Take care, and definitely catch up with you in the next video. Bye for now, and peace.